So halftime show. I want to start.
Go for it.
When I watched the halftime show, I watched it in a room full of people. I have not listened. I don't know Kendrick Lamar's music. I know They Not Like Us. I know that he has beef with Drake. And I've like heard of him on other Bad Blood remix, whatever. So, but I have not heard his music. I will say Katrina was popping off. Now she's a fan of Kendrick and I loved it. She was all like, loved it. So when I first saw it, I didn't get it. And to me, it was not a Super Bowl. Like it wasn't, I think it wasn't one people, it's a rap. So you have to know the songs almost, but also it wasn't what people were used to as like this big superstar show. However, I have since researched and studied because there was so much that happened. I wanted to see the symbolism. There's so much symbolism in that show. And he's a very intelligent guy. And it made me respect that show and that performance way more. I did not like it at all when I first saw it. I mean, I wouldn't say at all. I was like, that was okay. But after everything, after reading everything, after seeing the different things, listening to the songs, like I didn't even hear him say Drake when we were at the house because there was just so many people. And like, I would have been like, oh, because I knew that's the one thing I knew of Kendrick Lamar. So with that said, and I'll talk a little bit more about it, but I want to get your initial thoughts on it. Like when it was happening.
When it was happening, I knew it was a moment to be recognized because of everything that Kendrick Lamar is and who he represents. And I think you really said it best when you said, I really don't know who Kendrick Lamar is outside of like They Not Like Us and like the Bad Blood. You have experienced Kendrick Lamar through the lens of a white person. Like that's how that's your impression of him. Like you see the mainstream things, like he's won 5 Grammys off of Not Like Us. He has a song with Taylor Swift. This is a Pulitzer Prize winning person.
Yeah.
This man is a lyrical genius who has created albums and told stories in his albums that have shaped and changed the way we see hip hop to this day. And funny enough, he's been beefing with Drake since he started his career, and it's been just wild. But
can I say one thing real quick? So I will say I knew about the Pulitzer Prize. I don't think it's a white thing. I get what you mean.
I think that
because for me,
I saw a lot of Facebook comments on this is the worst one. Like,
yes,
because and again, you really said it well. You had to go back and really look at and see what he was doing. I saw this post or this little comment about, and I won't harp on the whole thing, but like having Samuel L. Jackson there, who also has beef with Donald Trump. They used to play golf together, and now Donald Trump does not like Samuel L. Jackson. But having Kendrick having Uncle Sam there, urging him not to be too loud, too reckless, or too ghetto. Like, hey, give the people what they want. Because a lot of people's beefs with Kendrick's performance was he has so many mainstream hits that people do know.
And I think that was
the part. People were upset because he didn't play the role that people were wanting him to play. And he didn't follow the pattern of what people were expecting from Kendrick Lamar. He instead took the opportunity to be a little petty with Drake and give us snippets from his new and upcoming album and the symbolism of the American flag and the game and all of these things that he gave us. He, in a sense, I want to say he entertained us while we got to see him be an artist.
Yes.
And that was like the whole thing. Like it was so great.
Well, and that's what I love about it now is seeing the artistry and I mean from beginning to end, the whole picture, because there was so much that happened that I did not see. And I even saw TikTok. The more you watch it, the more you will find, like you will see. And honestly, that's been the way. It's been cool to see. What I was going to say is like, it's really not something to harp on. I don't think it's a white thing because for me, it's just in my experience, like I just have not listened to Kendrick Lamar. I listen to rap. It's just I never really listened to his music.
And so that's why I said like your experiences of him are through the lenses of like he was on a song with Taylor Swift. Like that's how
But
you
I know
first,
him more from Not Like Us than Bad Blood.
Right, but your first impression of him was, oh, he's been on a song with Taylor Swift. And then if that's like kind of like what you maybe only really know of him, like you've heard of Kendrick Lamar, you know about his beef, but you never really listened to his albums. But your only impression was the Taylor Swift thing. Like, oh, he's got a song with T Swift. He's probably not all that bad. He embodies where he's from, and he puts that on display for every performance, every show. He represents where he's from, and that's honestly, he's from Chicago, but he grew up in Compton.
I would say West Compton, right?
Right, and so that's where he grew up from. You really ought to listen to his first album, Good Kid,
Well,
Mad
and that's
City.
the thing.
Gold.
I under what you're saying. I actually want to listen to some of the songs now,
listen to the first album
he performed, because I want to see I think every song he picked was very intentional last night.
Oh, incredibly.
I did not. So when Mustard came out, I did not know it was Mustard. Mm-hmm. Because they didn't say anything. All I heard was Busta. But now I'm realizing they said Mustard, didn't they? I thought they said Busta, and I was like, I know that's not Busta Rhymes, but that's the only Busta I know.
Yeah.
But Mustard was there. I was excited about that. We just talked about the Grammys, and I was like, he does look familiar. Where do I know him? He didn't win the Grammy, but Mustard came out.
You were funny.
Also, Serena Williams, which we saw the girl. I didn't know who it was. You did, because you said on your stories. I said that was her, which is funny because that's Drake's ex. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna have to explain to me. You're gonna have to educate me.
What
so the Crip Walk? Is that just the dance she was doing? Is that what it's called?
She was Crip walking.
Like that's the type. Okay,
it's a dance that she used to do when she played tennis, and every time she played tennis on a white stage, she would get fined. The people were like, you cannot do that on TV. You cannot do that. And so she got to do that. Like,
why?
Again, playing the part, doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, and so again, like Uncle Sam Jackson telling Kendrick, don't be too loud, play your role, stay in the box that white people want to see you in. Like when I recognized Serena Williams and people were like, that's not her. You don't recognize her without a racket in her hand. No, that's Serena Williams.
No, I thought it was good.
There were a lot of moments in the performance that made me uncomfortable, and because it made me uncomfortable, I was glad he was doing it.
Yeah.
And so that was beautiful analogy.
I thought just hearing the things that he was able to do on such a public spotlight was really cool. Yeah. Again, when I first saw it, did not have the same response. Yeah. And I'll admit that, and that's okay. But I did go back because I knew we were going to talk about it, but also I've been learning more about Kendrick and Lamar and Drake's beef. So he wasn't supposed to perform that song because there was cease and desist letters sent, but didn't he say something about they're going to sue?
Yeah, he said,
after.
I know you like to sue.
But now when he said, say Drake, and smiled straight at that camera. And then everybody said A minor. Yeah.
Like, bro,
So it's interesting because I'm gonna read one more thing about it.
Caleb, mind the clock. Caleb, make sure you're not.
It is very good. So for everyone confused about the halftime show, it was a bold statement to the rest of the elite about pedophilia, hence the modesty of the outfits and the symbolism of America. He was taking a stand for children. He will likely catch a huge lawsuit over this, but hey, you can gripe and complain and be blind and not know a single word he was saying, but has any other performer that you can name made this bold of a statement before to protect children? Now, I don't think the whole thing was explicitly about that, but I do think he made a bold statement about that. Yeah. And I respect him for that because I think the Hollywood elites that do the bad things need to be
how often if you take a look at any halftime performance that's been done the past 10 years, that is one that although it's for adults, your kids can watch it, and it's not. This is a performance that's not overly sexualized.
I appreciate that
hint of sexuality. Yeah. like immediately what comes to mind is J-Lo and Shakira's one and people were up in arms about because they were half naked or whatever. Adam Levine, when Maroon 5 did it, he had his shirt off the entire time, pelvic bone just hanging all out for the world to see. It was a lot of the performances are overly sexualized, and he did not do that. He said a lot of other things and did a lot of other things that made white people uncomfortable. But
so yeah, I mean, like I said, it was not one that it just took me a while to process kind of what happened. Any final thoughts about the Super Bowl?
Not my favorite one. No, I mean the performance. But I won't talk about I won't rank my Super Bowl performances for this episode. Next time I rank my performances.